From the Berkshires to the Sound, from wherever you live in MLB America, this is Inside the Parker. You give us 22 minutes and we'll give you the scoop on Major League Baseball. Now, here's Baseball Hall of Fame voter number 57.
You have another hot take.
Will not NOT make the playoffs.
Shohei me the money.
Rob Parker.
Come on! I've been covering Major League Baseball for almost 40 years now. In New York, in Cincinnati, in Detroit, in LA. I love this game. Let's go! Welcome into the podcast, and I'm your host, Rob Parker. And what a show we have for you today. Before we even get started, remember, press this button, the subscribe button, so that you're always here, always up to date with all the best coverage of Major League Baseball. As you know, I've been covering baseball since 1986. I love the sport. This is the place for your baseball fix. Welcome into the podcast. I'm your host, Rob Parker, and what a show we have for you today. Coming up, we talk with Athletics right fielder Lawrence Butler. He joins us. Plus, we'll go to the nation's capital and talk to Andrew Golden. He covers the Nationals for the Washington Post. That plus Foul Affair and more. Let's go.
Batter up. To lead off, it's Getting Robbed.
And keep them up.
Rob's hot take on the three biggest stories in Major League Baseball. Number one.
It's what we didn't want to see this year. We did not want to see Mike Trout come out of a game due to injury, but that's exactly what happened on Wednesday. When Trout left the game with a problem with his left knee, this year was supposed to be about trying to keep Mike Trout healthy. He moved from center field to right field to cut down on having to run as much. And yet, here we go again with yet another injury. We saw power from Trout. Trout had 9 home runs coming into Wednesday. Only problem is the batting average is under 200. So it's not the full package. It's not the MVP Mike Trout. He's not fully back. He's had power, but not hitting for average. And yet here's another blow maybe to the Angels and to Mike Trout and his future Hall of Fame career. He's done so much early in his career. He's probably going to be good enough to still get in the Hall of Fame. But it is disappointing that he can't stay healthy. It's a shame to the Angels, shame to the Angels fans, and shame, for baseball fans who want to see one of the best players healthy and able to play. So Mike Trout out. We'll see how damaged this is and damaging this is, and whether or not he'll be able to bounce back quickly, or if this yet another thing that sidelines him for extended period of time.
Number two.
I don't know about you, but the best team in the National League through the first month or so, the season started in March, first month of the season is the Chicago Cubs. Yes, I know. Is this on? Yes, it's on. And I'm not tripping because the Mets are off to a great start, winning 21 of their first 30 games. But I'm going to give it to the Chicago Cubs, who won 18 games through their first 31 or so. And look at the schedule that they've had that they played. Played Padres 6 times. They played the Diamondbacks 6 times. They played the Dodgers 5 times. Also played the Texas Rangers, who are a good team, and the Philadelphia Phillies. They could have been buried in the first month of the season easily. But not the case. Kyle Tucker, great pickup for the Cubs. And things have been going on. They're a spunky team. They come from behind. They get big hits. I mean, if you're the Cubs, the schedule will only get easier as we go on. So they have to feel really good about leading the NL Central, getting off to such a great start, given the schedule that they had to face. They went through the gauntlet, and they came out basically unscathed. And in first place. I think that's an amazing accomplishment.
Number three.
I know you saw Kike Hernandez in mop-up duty pitching for the Dodgers. It was comical. Not because he was on the mound, because he was wearing some pitching protective helmet. It looked like a batting helmet, but it wasn't. It was like a pitching protective helmet. And he was pitching with that on his head. Had I been at the plate, I might have been laughing too hard to even get my swings in. Come on, I just can't see how baseball could allow a pitcher to wear that. It just looks weird to me. It didn't look real, like it looked like it was batting practice and you're playing around. And I don't even know how you could really pitch with that on. I know he didn't have some big wind-up in motion, but to me, that thing seemed like it would be hard to really let loose and throw hard with that protective helmet on your head. I don't want to see anybody using that in a Major League Baseball game. Even though it was legal, it didn't look right.
Here comes the big interview. Listen and learn.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, welcome into the podcast. I have Lawrence Butler from the A's, is what you guys are being called now, even though we're here in Sacramento. Lawrence, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Let's talk about Sacramento and being out here and the changes. What has that been like, leaving Oakland and now you're playing here for the next few years?
It's kind of different, just playing in a different ballpark. But, all the guys on the team are suited to, play at these ballparks. We've all played at them before. So, it's just like a turn back in the page where, we just kind of get to play at a minor league ballpark for a couple of years. But, we don't lose focus on that. We still got a plan to go out there and win games. And, that's what we plan on doing.
And you don't think about Las Vegas, that's 3 years from now probably, right? Do you even think about that, or you just kind of embrace what you have?
Nah, all we think about is, the task at hand that day, which is today. We got the White Sox today, so, we're focused on, beating the White Sox and winning the series.
How about this team? You guys at 500 after the first 26 games. Just expectations, thoughts about where you are.
I feel like we expected to be better than 500, because we expect very highly. Our expectations are very high for ourselves, and, we feel like we're a good team, better than what everybody else in the media thinks we are. So, we feel like we haven't even played our best baseball yet. We're just kind of just going out there winning games, finding a way to win games, no matter if it's ugly or pretty. So, we still feel like we got a lot of work to do, and we're on the right track. So, I feel like there will be a lot more wins in the future to come.
How about you? Last year, first full year, excellent. A lot of stuff went well. Power, hitting, everything, making plays in the field. How do you enter your second year? Or what were your thoughts or your movements and stuff in the offseason for year two?
Really just trying to pick up the momentum that I had from last year into this year, and, just continuing to be good at what I'm good at, and, just kind of work on the areas that, I feel like I need to get better at. So, I got a great coaching staff. They're always, working with me, helping me. Any tips, they always give them to me. So, it's really just about, trying to be a all-around complete player, in every aspect of the game.
Let's talk about that. What did you work on? Was there something you said, man, I want to be able to hit the ball the other way. I want to be able to do this, hit for a higher average, have more power. What was it offensively that you worked on in the offseason?
Really just everything, just being more consistent, trying to take away the bad stretches that, a lot of players go through, just trying to shorten them up, to where they don't last longer than they should be. So, really just trying to be more consistent at the plate with my approach and, just everything and game planning with pitchers. So I really say that on the offensive side, that was more of what I was just kind of working on, being more consistent.
And how about defensively? Because you're a really good defensive player as well. Is that something that's always been a part of you? Do you enjoy playing defense? I've talked to people who say they get a kick out of it, stealing the ball or robbing the ball for a home run or diving catch or throwing somebody out at the plate. Where are you defensively?
I kind of want to just get my arm stronger, and I kind of worked on it in the offseason. But, defense is a huge aspect of the game. That's kind of how you save runs, keep runs off the board, and, just kind of help your team win games. If you could take away runs, that just kind of takes the momentum away from the other team and, brings momentum for your team. So, just always just playing hard on defense and just, going after every ball. And, I try to just get better at defense every year.
Our guest is Lawrence Butler from the A's. Let me ask you, personal goals. Do you set personal goals when you come into a season? I know you're still a young player. or do you just, like you said earlier, just try to get better, or is there anything you say, man, it would be great to do this or do that?
I mean, I feel like everybody kind of got like a little personal goals they have, but, majority of the time, it's me, it's just winning. If you win and you play the game the right way, things will just happen for you. So, I just kind of think of just going out there playing to win, and, whatever happens or whatever comes with it, accomplishments, anything, that's just what it is. So that's kind of my focus more on is winning the World Series. That's like a real personal goal for me.
That's real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I can't imagine if you play the game, you want to win and win at the highest level. Just want to ask you one more thing about hitting home runs. And for a lot of people, it's easy to say, I want to hit home runs, and everybody doesn't have a home run swing and all that kind of stuff. But can you be a home run hitter? I mean, you hit home runs, but a home run hitter maybe hit 35, 40 home runs. Is that in your wheelhouse?
I kind of just go out there and hit the ball. I mean, if it goes over the fence, it goes over the fence. I kind of don't try to focus on trying to hit home runs, because when I try to hit home runs, I usually don't do it. So I just kind of like to just hit the ball hard, and then if it goes over the fence, it goes over the fence.
Best home run you've hit in the big leagues? You got one? Was it the first one?
I would have to say the third one at Cincinnati. The third home run game, the third one, it was we were down one, top ninth, and I kind of tied the game, and that was my third home run, so that was pretty cool. I say that was the coolest one.
All right, Lawrence Butler, thank you for joining us here on Inside the Parker, man. We appreciate you. Continued success this season.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
In case you missed Rob Parker on the MLB Network, here's his latest appearance on MLB Now.
The showdown is not meant to cause offense or harm. The viewer acknowledges any reliance on the accuracy or completeness of said content should be done at their own discretion. The host apologizes in advance for any affront as a result of personal attacks.
Yeah, I've been putting out his name and name-dropping Rob Parker left and right. He's on the showdown. He does it every week, and I give him credit. Rob, you have to say, I don't hate on you. I give you credit when you're right, and you were the first guy to say Juan Soto could struggle in Queens. He will be Juan So-So. Rob, he's been so-so this first month. I thought he was going to break out last night, but he didn't. He had a good walk. I can't throw a good walk in your face in the ninth inning. He's been so-so. You've been right.
BK, always a pleasure. And I'm not, Juan Soto's a tremendous player, okay? I'm not saying he's not, but I'm not surprised by this. And let's make it, he's not a career 300 hitter. When he first went to San Diego, I think he batted 236 in about 50-some-odd games. That year, batted 246.
But he's been a 400 on base each and every year he's been in the major leagues. So I thought, all right, given what he did going to New York, the Bronx is in New York. I know you're from Queens, but the Bronx is New York. And then going to Queens, it's not going to matter. But you know what? He has bad at-bats. Now, it was a good at-bat late last night. He has good process. His on-base is 368, which is not terrible. He's above league average. But he's not an impact bat. And that surprises me year one anywhere, especially Queens.
Yep. And the thing that has helped him is that the Mets are winning. So he's kind of not had to take the brunt of it. If they were struggling, people would be on Juan Soto. There's no doubt about it, because he's not what he had. He had a career year with the Yankees last year, 40 home runs. It seemed like every time there was a big hit, he was the guy behind it, or him and Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge is in the Bronx still raking and being unbelievable. And Soto leaves the Yankees, and he's scuffling.
But did you get my personal shot? I said you put a curse on the borough of Queens, which you long ago abandoned. Did you get that?
I did not abandon it. It's still my home. I love Los Angeles, though. I will say that.
So where do you live, Rob? Where do you live?
I live in Los Angeles.
That's not Ozone Park. That's all I'm saying. It's not they got murals of you in Queens and you left. All right, Aaron Judge's start. How about that? 427. Where are you on Aaron Judge?
Unbelievable start to a season. It was just a year ago. He was being booed. I mean, he was terrible in April last year. Yankee fans were frustrated. He was batting under 200. And in a league where the average batting average is 242 or something like that, this dude's hitting over 400. But I'm going to say this, and I say this with all sincerity. It's almost, if he's healthy, these are what we expect from Aaron Judge. The numbers, the power, the batting average, all of this stuff because this is like normal. He's now reached a point where we're going to look at him and start to only judge him in the postseason. And I'm not saying last year against Cleveland, remember he had the big home run to tie the game?
And he was breaking out against the Dodgers, and then suddenly the series ended. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But he's been bad. He's been bad.
People are going to start turning to that to say he has to win a World Series and he has to perform and get some of these big hits and home runs in those moments. But he is just off the charts, the best player in the game. And I cannot, every day I look up, I can't believe he's gotten another hit, another RBI,
numbers go up.
another home run.
I want to throw in one thing. You're right about the postseason. He's been bad. He goes from he's head and shoulders above everybody else, even Soto, even Tatis, everybody, and yet he was bad in the playoffs. But I'll say this: he now is number 2 in baseball in singles. So he's changed his approach. So don't you see that, like, Judge is changing his approach in his game now? If, say, he's not swinging for the fences and has to drill every ball in October, spray a couple of singles, be productive, and wait to pounce. I like what he's done. He's redeveloped his game, re-engineered it, so it now might be better for a playoff run.
I agree with that because it's, in the playoffs, you're not feasting on 4th and 5th starters and guys who aren't good. It's the best of the best pitchers out there. That's why a lot of superstars struggle in the postseason. We saw Barry Bonds struggle till he finally broke out in 2002, against the Angels. But a lot of big time players have struggled. You face the best of the best. Every pitch matters, and you can't just be swinging for the fences. But I agree with you. I see singles and doubles every night from Aaron Judge.
Yeah, no, he's changed his game, and that's more transformable to bring to the playoffs. And then when the ball comes to you, like again, Soto has good at bats in the playoffs. If they're walking you, let them walk. If a tough pitch is single, and then when you get a fat one, hit it out, which I think Judge will do. All right, Queens native Rob Parker joining us here. Thank you, Rob.
When Rob was a newspaper columnist, he lived by this motto: if I'm writing, I'm ripping. Let's bring in a writer or broadcaster, old or new.
Now let's welcome into the podcast one of my favorite baseball writers, Andrew Golden, at the Washington Post, one of the young and upcoming guys. Andrew, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm excited to talk baseball. I appreciate you having me on, Rob.
Always, always. And let's talk about these Washington Nationals that you cover. And let's start with James Wood. I mean, we saw him come up last year, and now this year, out of the box, home runs, hits, RBI, all kinds of stuff. He's fantastic. Just tell us about his progress.
Yeah, I think last year you saw bits and pieces of what he could be. I think what you saw last year is him trying to figure out how major league pitchers were pitching him and what adjustments he needed to make. But in the second half of the season, he led the team in homers and RBIs and runs scored. So you saw the flashes and potential there. He led the team in walks too. So not only was he hitting well, but he was also being extremely disciplined as well. And so this year, you kind of hope that he'll be able to put things all together and even take the next step forward. And that's exactly what he's done. I think he's hit 9 home runs in the first month of the season. So that puts him on pace for a lot more than 9 home runs. I think it's probably 45, but you're probably on pace like 45 or 50 homers, which is pretty impressive to see for a guy that young. And so just his ability to go to the opposite field has been really impressive. His ability to be patient and not chase has been really good too. And as he grows into his body and learns more about himself and figures out how to pull the ball at the right time, like once he does that, I'm not sure how you pitch him. So he's been getting guys with almost every pitch in, out, away. He struggled a little bit up and in, but for the most part, he's getting some of those too. So he's been really impressive.
And if you're ownership or front office management, you got to love this. This is a local kid. He's from Maryland, right? I mean, you can't ask for anything better. Big, strong, hits the home runs. Like, I've seen this kid smile. He seemed like a great kid, with all those things. He's what you're looking for.
Yeah, personality and marketing wise, I mean, that's exactly what you want. You have a local kid you can kind of build around. And obviously he's shown that he has the potential to be that guy. And so, from a front office and marketing perspective, it's great to have a guy, that is somewhat homegrown. I know they traded for him, obviously, but just to have a guy who's pretty local, I think that has to mean something to them for sure.
No doubt. All right, let's have another guy who they got in a big trade, right? CJ Abrams, who last year had a bad incident where he, came late to the ballpark and Management didn't play around. They sent him to the minor leagues last year, and this guy was an all-star and who had done things in the league. What is his year started like, and has he changed, a different person, or how would you classify him?
Yeah, I think obviously that was a big message to send to him that they weren't they weren't playing around with him showing up late or him missing being late on the last team bus and those sort of things and staying out. I think that tweet has something to do with obviously him being sent down. That was actually a major factor in it, and so yeah, it was tough. But when we came in this year, like he wanted to move on, the team wanted to move on. They said that he was still their shortstop, and they've been saying that. CJ got out to a good start. He was hurt for a little bit, and so he was on the injured list for about 15 games, but. He when CJ's at the top of the lineup, he kind of electrifies the offense. Like the offense seems to go when he goes, and so he's kind of that table setter at the top of the order. He's not your traditional leadoff hitter, right? Like he's not going to like take pitches. Like he's very aggressive, and so maybe he's not your traditional leadoff hitter, but he has the speed. It can do a little bit of everything. I think he's shown that when he goes, the offense goes, and so he's a major part of it. I thought he's performed well. So far at the plate and the field, he's been decent. I think one of the big questions was could he improve his defense, and I think it's looked about the same as last year, maybe a little bit better, but still kind of looked the same as last year. And so we'll see how he continues to progress.
Our guest is Andrew Golden. He covers the Nationals for the Washington Post. How about pitching wise? Give me some surprises or some guys who are, pitching well for the Nationals.
I'll go with the guy who wasn't a surprise, which is Mackenzie Gore. Like they want him to be ace, top of the rotation guy. He's performed that way. He struck out 13 on opening day and only allowed 1 hit, no walks, which is like I think only Bob Gibson's ever done that before on opening day. So that's pretty good company to be in.
I was
right?
going to say those numbers are tremendous. Like
yeah. So he was electrifying that day, and so he's been everything that they've advertised, and even in the starts since he hasn't been as perfect, but he's been able to limit the damage. So that's been big for them. But Mitchell Parker's been the most impressive starter to me. Last year. He wasn't even supposed to be the first guy called up to debut, but he debuted on the road against the Dodgers last year. He was really good in the first half, and you could tell he kind of had some fatigue in the second half, wasn't the same guy. This year, he's changed his arm slot a little bit. He's throwing a little bit higher, and he's been really effective in that role. And so I've been impressed with what I've seen from Mitchell Parker. He's been really good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can continue to do moving forward.
We saw them, have a couple of nice walk-offs against the Mets. Mets are one of the hottest teams in the National League. But through the first 31 games, right, literally the first month, 13-18, 9-7 at home, bad road record. What are the realistic expectations for the Nationals as we head into May?
I think the goal is for them to be maybe a fringe team that could compete for a wild card spot. I think that was the goal. I mean, obviously, like the Phillies and the Mets and the Braves were. It's a tough division to shake out of, especially given how good the NL West was. But I think that was kind of the goal and the expectation kind of entering the season. But I think the thing when you were talking about the walk-offs is that then they follow those up with not great performances. So the key is like they have not been consistent. Like one day they perform really well, they do everything right, they have the walk-off, and the next day they just kind of have these duds where they don't perform well, they don't hit well, they make mistakes in the field, their bullpen doesn't come through. So it's like they're on this weird path of like inconsistency where they'll be really good for a stretch and then they'll be inconsistent for a stretch. And so, good teams are able to overcome those inconsistent stretches and turn things around and find ways to win those games. And so I think when you're looking at what the Nationals need to do moving forward is find ways to build on their momentum instead of losing their momentum by losing the next game. They need to be able to continue and take what they did the day before and apply it moving forward. So I think that's the key for them.
All right. His name is Andrew Golden. He covers the Nationals for the Washington Post. And Andrew, always a pleasure, man. I'll see you out at the yard down the road. Thank you, my man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to the next time I see you.
Now, here's the best from MLBbro.com.
Charlie Duncan is dealing straight facts on MLBbro.com.
3 MLB bros, 3 different cities, 1 mission. Dominate the mound and deliver the win. Hunter Green brings the heat for Cincinnati, lighting up radar guns and shutting down lineups with an explosive arsenal. 43 strikeouts and a 2.70 ERA, this bro is on the hunt for an NL Cy Young and his 4th win of the season. For Minnesota, Simeon Woods Richardson is finding his rhythm, mixing command and poise as he carves through batters and has locked down 2 wins so far. He looks to boost his red-hot squad to earn a win over their division rival in Cleveland. And in Philly, veteran Taijuan Walker is out to remind everyone, when he's locked in, he can go toe-to-toe with anyone. He carries his 2.78 ERA and 20 strikeouts into a matchup with the Nationals. 3 arms, 1 movement. These MLB bros are stepping up, showing out, and doing it their way, from the first pitch to the final out. This is Charlie Duncan, and those are straight facts on MLBbro.com.
For more, right now, go to MLBbro.com.
That ball is.
It was a big week in the big leagues.
Who's up? Who's up?
I don't believe it! My, oh my!
Is it foul or is it fair? And now, from MLBbro.com, here's J.R. Gamble.
Coming into Thursday night, Yankees second baseman Jazz Chisholm Jr. was batting 181 in 105 at-bats. JR, is it foul or fair to say that Jazz Chisholm Jr. isn't providing enough at the plate for the Yankees?
Fair. Jazz Chisholm isn't hitting the ball or putting it in play enough for me, Rob. I'm sorry. He's just not. As much as I love Jazz, and I hope he doesn't get mad at me when he sees me at the All-Star game in Atlanta, because I believe he will make it this season based on popularity alone, but batting 181 is just not cutting it, Rob. The 7 home runs, top 20 in baseball, that's cool, but I don't need my second baseman to be Marcus Semien in 2021 and hit close to 50 bro bombs and break records. I just need him not to be 7th in all of baseball in strikeouts. I mean, he should be hitting at least 100 points higher. He doesn't seem to make the adjustments when he needs to at the plate, and he's not elevating into an elite player, in my opinion. Jazz has the tools and the occasional flash of potential dominance, but I'm not even getting super solid starter vibes right now from him. Yes, he's behaving and kissing all the babies and doing all the things he's supposed to do. The smile is infectious. The bravado is so New York, right? He was a perfect fit. But I look up and the OBP is .304, his lowest since his rookie season in Miami in 2021. The Yankees are hanging on in first place, but Boston's creeping. And that division's tough. And that lineup is great. So Jazz will need to give them more and more hits, in the words of Nice and Smooth, especially when the playoffs come around, because he's underachieving right now. And the Yankees, if they have any chance of winning the World Series, he'll have to break out of this year-long slump. 2020 is cool, but I need that batting average up. I need you being the catalyst that you're supposed to be. And I need to see you really getting into your hitting and studying it. I hope you're doing film and working on those things that will allow your greater talents to shine through. Because you're a better player than this, Jazz. And I'm telling you because I love you. So fair. You got to give the Yankees more. Much more.
Make way for weekend wagers.
Yo, it's Sean Bo. Fire up those bed naps. Let's go. 1 win, 1 loss last week. Brings the season total to 6 wins, 4 losses. Let's get that 2-0 though. Go ahead and start off your Friday with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yamamoto has been nearly unhittable so far in the season, so even with the Dodgers visiting the Atlanta Braves, we know that -1.5 on the run line is the way to rock to get your pockets right. Saturday, we're going to go back to that winning well. The A's of West Sac, I'm going to go ahead and say it, are visiting against the awful, despicable Miami Marlins, and with neither team keeping the ball in the park, the A's are actually leading the MLB with home runs allowed. Go ahead and take the over 8.5, over 9.
Hi, I'm Rob Parker, the founder and editor of MLBbro.com, where we cover black and brown major leaguers. 75% of the content will be about the current black and brown stars in Major League Baseball. The other 25%, we'll take a look back at some of the great black players. On the site, there'll be a ton of great written stories and videos and features.
MLB Bro, because you need to know.
MLB fans, when it comes to Major League Baseball, no one covers it better than the Odd Couple.
Fact. I am the baseball king.
First, second, third, and home.
We're leading shows with baseball. Game over.
They don't watch it.
They don't know the game.
All in one place.
Let's go!
Right here on Fox Sports Radio.
I love baseball.
In the words of New York TV legend, the late Bill Jorgensen, thanking you for your time this time until next time. Rob Parker, out.
He can't get it. This could be an inside to Parker.
See you next week. Same bat time, same bat station.